All right, let's talk about growing a pelvic health business and what that looks like and how to become the mastery version of the business and how to make that strategy be like clockwork. Okay. So how do you master strategy in your business? That is key. If you can master it, then you can keep reproducing it. You can start many locations. You can have many people online. You can have many providers that work for you online and keep building. You can even franchise it. You can sell the model. You can do all the different things. There's so many different options, right? But you have to master the strategy behind building the business first. And so when it comes to building a business, the first thing that I see happen is most people are just trying to do the thing. They're just trying to connect with people. They're just hoping, wishing that people are going to reach out to them online. And the reality is they can hope all day long, but that's not going to, it's just like a hope. Like, I hope I'm going to get patients. You can't hope. You got to have a strategy to get patients. So a lot of times there's like this trial and error. That's stage one. Once you audit the trial and error phase, that's phase two, is like you audit it, then you see, okay, this worked or this didn't work. Okay, now I'm going to do more of this thing. So then people do more of that thing. Okay, great. Now that you've audited it, okay, are we going to put money behind it? Are we going to run ads? Are we going to change the messaging behind it? Is that another thing that we're going to do? Are we going to go heavy and put more time and effort into this one platform? For instance, like maybe you're on 5 different social media platforms, but you realize that most of your leads are coming in through IG, Instagram. So you're like, you know what? We're going to double down and we're only going to focus on IG. We did this, by the way, and it does work, because we knew we didn't get many clients from TikTok. Some of you guys might be different, but that's majority of what we see. Facebook and Instagram is where you're going to mainly get clients. So if I had to make a suggestion on strategy and how to master it, you trial and error first, then you audit it, and then you double down on what is actually working in. But you can't double down unless you audit it. So that's stage 3 is double down. Once you double down on that, then how can you tweak just little things? So is it your messaging that you're putting out? Is it how many times you're putting out on social media? Is it the way you're making your content? Are you doing a mix of funny and educational? And what does that look like, right? And so all of that is basically every single week you auditing it and see which one performs and which one doesn't. And that's how you become a master at something. If you're trying to master a skill, then there's always some auditing as well to it to see, am I doing this right or am I doing this wrong, and what's the feedback? Most of us do not even take time to audit, because if we take time to audit, we're thinking, that's not important because we got to keep getting new clients and growing our business and all that. But the problem is that's where we get it all wrong. You have to audit it to become the master at it, because otherwise numbers don't lie. And if numbers are telling you, hey, this isn't working, but you're constantly just producing content and you're like, I did it, I get the check mark. Well, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot and creating a higher path of resistance, because the algorithm is telling you to do it another way and you're not listening to that. So that is key. If you're thinking like, how do I become a master at marketing? Trial and error, try things, audit it, and then double down on what works. That's as simple as that. Same thing with sales. Sales is more of like practicing. So what we have is I have cloned my mind and cloned my voice. And so if you guys are in one of my programs, then basically you get that. So at any point in time at 10 o'clock at night, you get access to my brain, and it literally sounds exactly like me. Everything I've said, it's not pulling from ChatGPT. It's only pulling from what I've learned and what's been in my head from all the mentors I've had. And you get the answers that you're looking for. And so for when it comes to like sales and all that kind of stuff, that's more of a practicing back and forth to become a master of that. And that takes years of practicing that. It's not like, I read the script, so I know now exactly what to say. That's not that. So there's different levels of mastery in different areas of business. And you gotta be like the most persistent student of like wanting to learn the thing, because when you're the most persistent student of you wanting to learn the thing so hard, then no one can outcompete you because you're constantly learning and growing, and that's key. And I would say what else? And mastering a pelvic health business, I would say you have to know pelvic floor therapy. So, making sure that you know how to perform pelvic floor therapy to the highest degree and highest level. I think that's key. I think need to know how to messaging. Your messaging and your communication has to be key, because it's a sensitive topic, and you understanding like what hits with people and what resonates, like what do our clients actually want. I think that's huge. I would say I see this a lot with other business coaches. They're like, yeah, we help pelvic floor therapists. And a lot of times they don't know the messaging, so it's completely off, and there's such a mismatch, and then they believe it doesn't work. It does, but the messaging is off because they just haven't dealt with that population, and it does make a difference on how you speak with people with hormone issues and sexual issues and all that kind of stuff. It's a big difference than just like, hey, let's promote a knee pain, like it is. And so that's why we created our systems, which is called Pelvic Solution, which we've created specifically. We're the only one for pelvic health therapists that actually speak that language, so that you can feel confident that emails that are going out to the clients and all the marketing behind it is actually on point, because we know the clients so well and we know their issues. And so we know we can get them to their next goal just by being able to communicate effectively. So that's huge. And I want to say, like, from being a mastery in strategy behind the pelvic health business is you learning communication is key. No matter if that's with your staff, no matter if that's with your clients, no matter if that's through emails, no matter if that's like on an IG post, communication is key. So your messaging is the number one thing that I would say has to be right for you to be able to strategically run a business effectively. And you got to practice it, and you got to have coaches to help you with that. And you have to invest in yourself on, how do I talk about this better? How do I get people to know me better? Well, it's all through messaging. So that's huge.